Good evening. We're here now with Mr. Prince Mackey, and he's another one of our precious Countdown Pearls. And we're going to talk to him so he could tell us a little bit about the good old days and also compare what it used to be and what he see now, and to ask him to give us some advice for some of our young people. And we're just going to have a general conversation. So, good evening, Mr. Mackey.
How are you, Tom?
I'm good, and welcome. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your family, your children, your days growing up in Countdown, and your contribution to this community.
Well, I started out in Roll Hill. After my mommy and daddy separated, I started out in Roll Hill, and then I went to school in Nicholstown for a while, from Roll Hill. Then I moved, and after my sister got married, Gloria, I moved to Nicholstown with her. And during the time when I was here in Countdown, me and the boys, like Brother Pratt, and Cecily Miller, we used to sail boats. My uncle had a little small boat, and then we used to sail that up and down, go to Breezy Hill and go fishing and stuff like that. And fishing was always my main thing. And so we grew up in a fishing village. Then afterwards I moved to Nicholstown, and I used to go to the school in Nicholstown I lived with my sister Gloria, who married to Bernard.
How was it going to school? What was it like? Give us a typical day at school.
It was good, going to school and from here. Well, going to school from Countdown, from Roll Hill to Nicholstown was a challenge, because during that time in Nicholstown and Countdown, we had no fresh water in Roll Hill. We had to bring the bucket over in the morning and go by Uncle Charlie. We'll leave it and pick it up in the evening when he coming home.
Wow.
So we used to break like young kamalami tree, and put in the water, put on your head to stop it from flashing up.
Wow.
So we did that for a while, me and my brother. And
which grade level did you completed school?
Well, at that time when we used to go to school, when you get around 14, 15 years old, they put you out of school.
So after that, what did you have to do once you came out of school?
Once I came out of school, I went to Cat Key to work. Okay. And I worked in Cat Key.
So you were still a little boy?
Yeah. I went to work with Cat Key when I was at the age of 16.
Wow. What did you do in Cat Key?
In Cat Key, I used to work in the machine shop. I worked in the machine shop at Alfred Colebrook, and I was doing that ever since. Ever since then, I was into mechanic work and stuff like that from way back.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your family life.
Well, my family life, I got married at the age of 21, and me and my wife together, we had 10 children. We raised 9. We raised 8 boys and 1 girl. They all seems to be turning out pretty good. Ain't nobody been no trouble yet, and so far, so good. I mean, really good. God been good to me.
When you compare Countdown today and Countdown on the days when they used to call the good old days, what do you think?
Well, be honest with you, I think Countdown is a dying settlement.
Why you say that?
Well, look at it. Mother Pratt had 16 children. I remember one time when we was at the parliamentary register, we used to vote. We had like over 225 registered voters in Countdown. Mm-hmm. Now, I can tell you why I said Countdown. I feel like Countdown is a dying village. Right now, if we get 80, we got plenty.
What do you think we could do to encourage some of your people to come back to Countdown? Or do you think it would be possible? Or would it even be worth trying to encourage the people to come back? And if they do come back, what are they coming back to do? What do you think?
Well, be honest with you, if in my opinion, if we could put more jobs in the family, so when people go off, when you send your child off to school, nothing to come back to, so it's not no work. And 90% of the people leave, the young people that leave Andros, Kongsown, go to Nassau, and once you see them buy a house or a piece of property or build a house, they're not coming back.
So what do you think would happen? What do you think would be the face of Kong Sound, say, in the next 10 years?
In the Kongsown, exactly like you see it right now. If we don't make something happen, it will surely die.
Do you think it is possible for something to happen in Kong Sound? And what do you think it should be? If you had the ability or the will to say, whatever you ask to happen to encourage the people to come back, what would your suggestion be to bring them back?
My suggestion would be is to put more jobs in the family island.
What type of jobs?
Well, Andros, is not a tourist destination. Andros is more like the industries. If you could put something like an industry in Nassau, in Andros, or North Andros, where you get more people come to work.
Like factories or some manufacturing?
Exactly, some kind of manufacturing, something that will hire more and more people. I think you'll have a lot of people come back home. Because trust me, in my honest opinion, there's a lot of people in Nassau dying to come home, but it's not going to come home too.
I know some time ago they were talking about the soil here down in, I think it's either here or in the surrounding area, where they were saying it was good to cultivate rice.
Yeah, I learned that they were talking about growing rice one time in Andros, and I think that possibility is still there. The wetland was rice like wetland, from what I get it, and we have a lot of wetland. We have a lot of fresh water. Well, Andros is the largest area of fresh water in the Bahamas, and I think if we could put something like a factory where we could manufacture something or can things and something like that, it'll be much better, and I think more people will stay at home. Because it ain't nothing to do. There's nothing to do. So when you grow up, you get out of school, you go to Nassau, or you go to this college or whatever, and you come back. Hey, in Andros for you to do.
Just come to do as we do. Come for holidays, times, come to rest, recuperate, and to go back.
And gradually, the older people are moving out, they're dying. The older people are dying out, and there's really nobody to sustain the economy. Not Andros.
So, what would your advice be, or what words or comments can you give to our young people growing up today? Just basic, general advice.
To the younger people that is growing up today, I would say to them, if it was me, get as much education as you can and try your level best to build a future on yourself. Go in some kind of business for yourself, something that you know that you could contain yourself. Because I don't see it, and no matter what. If you look around Andros, North Andros, you see a lot of property cleaning down. A lot of people wants to build. A lot of people wants to come home. A lot of people want to build a second home, but the jobs is just not there.
Nothing here to attract people
to come back.
Economically. There's no economic attraction.
No, there isn't none. There isn't any. And I am afraid to say that. This is just true, because like you look around. If you take right now, I have to go or drive almost 30 miles to work every morning. I go from here to Stanier Creek every morning, and you got people that works down here, that works up there. People that works down here works in Ortec. And then people drive that far to go to work. Just to get to work. And it ain't that they want to. It's a matter of necessity. That's the only thing available. And nothing else available in here. If you take water and sewage, Water and sewage only can handle so much. Ministry of Works only can handle so much. Ministry of Education can only handle so much. Ministry of Health only handle so much.
National insurance.
And National Insurance.
And that's it.
And that's the 4 or 5 major players. And that's it.
Wow. That's something to be concerned about.
It is something to think about, and it's something really to you to be concerned about, because when you look at it, the locals around here, they want to expand. The grocery business and the bar business. Mind you, you go to the boat, you look like they're bringing in plenty of grocery and everything, but when you look at it,
In the stores.
but you look at it, you gotta look at it from north to central. You see, you pass trucks and trucks and loads and stuff going to central.
They're
So-
not staying.
No, they're not staying in North Andover. Every week that boat comes from Miami or Nassau, it brings a lot of groceries.
Why do you think it's not staying in the north?
Because the
People aren't purchasing like that at that
people are
level.
purchasing, but ain't nobody here to purchase.
So it doesn't make sense to bring in bulk like
No.
that. Especially perishable.
Every week you got to bring in perishables. Every week you find people that brings in perishables.
And it's very expensive.
It is.
Very expensive.
And mind you now, if Bamsi would come up with a plan like they had planned to years back, that they buy and sell from the locals, then you maybe it would encourage a lot of people to go into farming. But now the government is saying go into backyard farming and stuff like that. But if you look behind me, when I grow all this stuff here now, all this bananas and stuff,
Where are you gonna?
where am I going to sell it?
Yeah. And who are you gonna sell it
And
to?
who I'm going to sell it to, and how much
And
I
a
can
good
eat.
value you could get for it.
Right, and how much of this I can really eat. You
That's
see?
something to think about.
Yeah, so they're telling you to go into backyard farming. But if I go into backyard farming, you go into backyard farming, everybody goes into backyard farming, and everybody starts growing the same thing.
You have to have a market.
You gotta find a market for it. They're telling you farm. Yes. But in the meantime, you got the exporters out in Nassau, like Super Values and all them other big food
And
stores.
you can't compete.
You can't compete with them because they got a place in Miami where they can get their stuff.
But this stuff not as rich though.
It's not as good as theirs. Some of them, mind you, some of them are better.
No, I'm saying the local stuff is better because you're
Yeah,
coming from that good
it
rich
comes
soil.
from-
The
comes from
bananas
soil,
are
the
better
local
for
stuff
sure.
is better.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me I can't bring in tomatoes and you already give me a franchise to bring in tomatoes.
So
There you
they're
get
like,
that.
it's a competition. And they bring in bulk so it's cheap.
Folks, because they got 5 or 6 stores and they bring in enough to supply all their stores.
So your little amount can't.
Your little amount can't compete against
No,
them.
no,
Don't make no sense.
no. Something to think about.
Yeah, so
Something to think about.
that's where we are today. That's where we are today. The people who go fishing. Okay, you take for instance people that go fishing. You got what they call a day boat. They go in the morning, come back in the afternoon, and they go and bring fish. They sell the fish and crawfish locally. Okay, now the government is telling them they have to license their boats. They have to insure their boats. They have to do this and do that and do it. And tell me, I'll be honest with you, this is the worst season I've seen crawfish in a long time.
Because people don't have the money to do all the things that they're asking them to prepare.
Not only that, the most we've been paying for crawfish is $8 a pound.
Wow. Almost don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense to go up.
Operating at a loss.
$8 a pound, and gas is $6.85 a pound.
And that's only the gas.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Supply. That ain't the labor.
Okay. So you only go just because you need to. You don't need. You're not making no money.
That don't make no sense.
You're not making no money. We are buying for $8 a pound, $8.50 a pound, and selling for $9, $7, $8, $9, $50, $10 a pound. So what are we
You're making
making?
money.
Then on top of that, you got to pay freight to get it to Nassau. And the people in that, the boat owners here are charging you arm and a leg to go to Nassau.
And they take it or leave it.
Yeah, so you don't make nothing. Or a pound of lobster, when you get it to Nassau, if you make 50 cents a pound, you make plenty. After you don't pay freight and all of that.
Wow, that's interesting. Is there anything else you would want to say for?
You know, what I would like to say, I would really want to see the economy of Kong Sound grow. Trust me, it hit my heart when I drive and see the more houses that people left and don't ever come back. You know, if we could only find a way to get more people to come back home, build more houses, and then the economy will come down will grow. You take like the school over here. You remember we all went, a lot of us and all of them went to that school. And now, you know why they closed it down? They had less than 24 children.
Wow.
They had to close the school.
Couldn't sustain it.
And if you look at all the churches today, you can count the amount of young people
that are
in the church. Everybody's going.
Yeah, they're gone.
I goes to Baptist, and I remember when we had tremendous Sunday school group. Now, I've been to church today, and if we had 10 people, young people in church today, we had plenty.
And you might have had 10 because some of them came from Nassau and they visited for the holiday.
Thank you.
Wow.
Normally, 5, 6, 8 people,
Wow.
the most.
Wow. Well,
So if we could find a way to bring some people back home, I think Kong Sound would be a much better place.
you have your local council. You got to get on them and talk to them and let them see the reality of what's happening. You know, you can't let your history die.
No, and definitely it's going to die.
Wow.
It's gradually dying. You take, for instance, we started the regatta in Kong Sound, and now that the regatta in the Bahamas is a national regatta. That's national now.
But y'all don't get the recognition for it.
People don't even know. Nate, Commissioner Hart, Clara Evans, and Jen Russell, and all of those. We went to Mangrove Key and buy boats and come back and started the regatta here in Kong Sound.
We got to get your history known.
Along with Wild Pratt, who had a fishing boat who can wait his fishing boat to a big sailboat. And you know, the competition wasn't it wasn't no big competition. We sailed because we liked the fun of it. It ain't like now where you sailing for prizes
They
and stuff.
sailing out of blood.
Yeah, we sailing for the love of the sports.
Everything has
Yeah,
changed.
you see,
Everything has changed.
everything, and it changed. It had changed. But it'll be good if we could get more people, get more jobs, find a way to get jobs in here, and we get more people to come back home.
Well, let's pray that we can create the awareness that's necessary before it is too late. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon. This is going to be a part of history. And so I guess once the video is all done, you will be privy to having a look at it.
Good.
Thanks again.
I'll be glad. I'll be glad to help in any which way I could.
Okay.
Any way I can, I'll be glad to help. Because trust me, I hate to see the way the community is going, and it's not going up the hill. It's going down the hill.
But it's going to call for everyone to pull together. Put the
together.
efforts together. You can't expect just one people because at the end of the day, it's going to be for the betterment of all.
The betterment of all.
Yes.
And like I say, you take, for instance, Brother Pratt here. If he goes to Nassau and buy a house, you think he come back home to do what?
Well, the plan is we would like to, though.
Yeah, you would like to, but you're coming home too, honey.
But we retired, so.
Yeah, when you retire. That's when you retire.
No, he retired.
Yeah, but that's
No,
when,
I know. I
that's
just
you.
use as an example, yeah.
I'm just using an
Yeah.
example. Just you. When you retire. So when you retire, you get so old you can't hardly. You
Because
can't
you
hardly do
can't come to Nassau, can't come here then because you need to be close to the doctor.
Exactly. Exactly. You need to be close to medical, where you get your medical attention. Huh? And there's people who trying. I mean, they got gyms and stuff around here. People who trying to do this and trying to do that, but they don't have enough people in it. Enough people here that really wants to take a part of it.
Make it work. Well, let's pray that the change will come.
I
Thanks
pray,
again.
oh God, so because trust me, I pray every day for change. Every day I pray for change because I was saying I know what Kong Sang was like, and I've been here long enough to see it gradually take the turn for the worse. You know, take a turn for the worse, and when you look at it, it ain't the people's fault, you know. It ain't the people's fault that live here. It's the people's fault that don't create the jobs for the people to stay here. Because, like I say, if my sons goes off to Nassau and they buy a house, I don't expect them to come back home right away.
No, they can't.
But they're coming home too.
And they got to stay where their obligation is.
Where their obligations are, where they get a job and things, and that's where they're going to stay.
You're right.
That's where they're going to stay, man.
You're right.
So until we find a way or some kind of formula that we could put jobs into North Andros, it will always be like that. And anywhere you go in North Andros, you can find the same thing. No jobs.
Sad.
No jobs. I mean, you know, it's sad, but I don't know what else. I don't know what we can do. And if you go into a business for yourself, what kind of business that you could go in that would?
Because whatever the business is, if it calls for patronage from people, the people still not there.
The people just not
So
there
it
to
has to be
patronize.
some sort of manufacturing, something
Exactly.
that you could
it has to
export.
be it's something that you could export.
Yeah, something that's necessary, some service or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Thank you.